Hi everybody, we're going to do the chatbot, this week's assignment number 12. What's up is we're going to write a little program that talks to us and it looks for certain things in the words we type and does different replies based on what we say. So here's the rules, we'll go through them in detail in a second. And here's a sample run. My thing says, welcome to Bob the Chatbot, let's talk. Type a message to Bob. It says, hi, this is Mr. Hayes. And Bob says, whatever. That's a bit rude, question mark? Sure. This is frustrating. Whoa, chill out. Anyway, you can see these things. And then when I mention that I have a dog, Bob says I have a dog too. And when I say bye, Bob says later, and it ends. So, right down here. Tips, steps. Let's get started. Print a welcome message. So, I already made a REPL and named it Bob the Chatbot. You should log into your REPL account and do that. Put a hashtag here and put your name and then say print welcome to Bob the Chatbot. Something like that. Pretty flexible. And then next in the instructions, I walk you through it. So do a while true loop. Inside the loop, ask the user to type something to Bob using an input call and save it into a variable named phrase. So it's a couple of steps. While true, colon, hit enter. And then we say phrase equals input, say something to Bob. All right. And so that's those steps. See how we have a loop now and the phrase is indented slightly. That means it's part of the loop. And we're going to save whatever we type into this variable called phrase. Back to here. Then do a giant if, elif, else statement so that you do only one response to whatever the user types. So here's the thing. If you just did an if, and another if, and another if, and another if, Python might trigger all of those things. And by making it a single structure with one if, one else, and then I don't know how many elifs in the middle. I mean, my example here says 2, but you might have 7 in the end. I'm not sure. Only one of the things will trigger. That's part of this assignment. We don't want Bob to answer 3 different things just because something the user typed triggered 3 of the conditions. So we're going to make the first be if phrase equals nothing. Then we're going to say fine, be that way. All right, so back to here. If phrase equal, remember 2 equal signs, and then empty quotes, print, fine, be that way. By the way, I'm flexible if you want to say different things. But I want you to trigger off all these things. So this is responding if the user says nothing. All right, and now we're going to do elif phrase dot upper equal BYE. This is how we get out of the chatbot. If phrase dot upper, we take whatever the user entered, that's in the variable phrase. We're making it uppercase and we're checking if it's equal to the letters BYE uppercase. Then we say later, not laster, but later. And then we say break. That's how we get out of the loop. And then let's see what's coming next. Back to the instructions. Elif phrase dot upper equal by. We say later and we do a break. Okay, on to the next page. And then we do elif question mark in phrase and phrase dot upper equals phrase. So this checks that the phrase is all caps. That's this part. Phrase dot upper equals phrase. That means we made it uppercase, but it was already uppercase. And we're checking that there's a question mark in there. And if that happens, we're going to say, calm down, I know what I'm doing. So I'm going to copy that. So this is, again, an elif, not another if. If, elif, phrase. So we're going to say question mark in phrase and phrase dot upper equal phrase. You could copy that line, from the instructions. We're going to print calm down, I know what I'm doing. So that's what happens when you do a question that's all caps and has, so the question mark and it's otherwise all caps. And next, we're going to check if there's a question mark in the phrase, and we're just going to say sure. Elif, oh, I'm not sure what letter I clicked. Elif, question mark, in phrase, print sure. All right, I'm gonna run it. Say something to Bob. I'm gonna hit enter. It says find B that way. I'm gonna say, do you like rabbits? And he says sure. And if I say, what? It's all caps. Boy, I'm having a hard time. I do have a Band-Aid on one of my fingers. So here's a question. It's all caps. It's gonna say, calm down, I know what I'm doing. And then finally, if I say bye, nothing happens. So if I say bye, all caps, what's it doing now? Yeah, I don't know what it's doing. BYE, it should say later. Yeah, so I don't know what happened. REPL's acting a little funny. Anyway, I just tested all the things that we've done so far. So we've done this one, and now we're going to check if the phrase is all uppercase, and we're going to say, whoa, chill out. So we can obviously Acrobat's having trouble copying just what I want, but I'm going to get elif phrase equals phrase dot upper. So it's right here. Elif phrase equals phrase dot upper. I'm going to say, whoa, chill out. Whoa, chill out. All right. And coming back here. Next, we're going to check if dog is in the phrase, and we're going to say, I have a dog too. And then we're going to do the same thing for cat. So, elif dog, in quotes, in phrase, print, I have a dog too. That's what Bob's going to say. If you have a dog, and I'm going to just copy those two lines and paste them. I'm going to change it to be cat. And I have a cat too. All right, did those. And then let's see, I think we're almost done. And then finally do an else and print whatever. And so the else is a catch-all condition, meaning there's no, it's just else. With a colon, you don't have a condition in there too. So we're going to say else, print, and what was I asking you to say then? Whatever. Whatever. So that way, it's always going to say something. It's either going to be, if it was empty, it says find B that way. If I said bye, it says later, and then if it's a question mark and it's all uppercase, it says I know what I'm doing. Then if it just has a question mark, it says sure, and so on. But if none of these conditions trigger, then it's going to say whatever. So let's run it and see. Say something to Bob. How are you? He says sure. So remember, that was if there's a question mark, it says sure. So I'm going to say nice day. He's going to say whatever, right? Because it didn't trigger any of the conditions. So it got down to the whatever. And then my cat has pink eye. He says, I have a cat too. I have a great dog. I have a dog too. And if I say, what's up? He says, whoa, chill out. That's because it was all caps. You get the idea. And then if I say bye, he says later. So it'd be great if you tested your program to make sure that it works. Again, you have one if and one else, and in between as many elifs as you want. And you can feel free to add other ones to do your own thing. Like I'm going to add one here. Elif, ice cream, in phrase, print, dude, screaming, Mimi's, totally rocks. And if I run it and say I love ice cream. This is dude screaming memes totally rocks. So you can see how you can add your own things and you can test your own things. Anyway, that's this week's program. Good luck. I hope it works out well for you. Definitely email me if you have questions.